Hello students, let's begin with our chapter, The Tale of the Custard Dragon. Today we are going to start and we are going to discuss about the Tale of the Custard Dragon written by Ogden Nash. He is an American poet. Let's begin here. What is dragon? Dragon is a creature, imaginary creature. Usually the Chinese people believe that once upon a time they had a dragon in their place and they almost keep the symbol of dragon in their buildings, and some other pictures we can find in mostly Chinese place that dragon pictures. This poem is written in the style of a ballad, a song or a poem that tells us a story. You must be familiar with the ballads that narrate the tales of courage or heroism. This poem is a humorous ballad close to the parody. This poem is giving us a story about the dragon, his heroism, his courage, how he was courageous. Let's begin with the stanza. In the first stanza, we can see Belinda lived in a white little house. With her, the little black kitten, and little gray mouse, and a little yellow dog, and little red wagon. What is red wagon? Wagon is a vehicle with four wheels. And a Rilio little pet dragon. Here the poet changes the spellings of a real. Rilio means a real and Trilio means a truth. In order to get a rhyming to this poem, he changed the spellings of real and the truth. So we can see here in the White House. In this White House, who all were living? A Belinda, a little girl. Belinda, a little girl, she was living in a white color of house, and with her she had a pet, that is a little black kitten, a little gray mouse, and little yellow dog, and red wagon, and a Trilio little pet dragon. In the second stanza, we can see now the name of the little black kitten is Ink, and the little gray mouse, she called him Blink, and the little yellow dog was Sharp as Mustard, but the dragon was a coward and she called him Custard. In this poem we can see the description of the little pets. She is giving the name, Belinda is giving the name for the little pets. The name of the little black kitten is Ink, and the yellow gray mouse, she called him Blink, and the yellow dog was Sharp as Mustard, and the dragon was coward and she called him Custard. Because the dragon was a coward, so she called him as a Custard. In this second stanza, she is describing their names and she is giving them the names. In the third stanza, we can see the description of the dragon. Custard the dragon had a big sharp teeth. Custard had a big sharp teeth, and spring on the top of him. It is like this, a thorny bush, like something like thorn in his back. On him, and a scale underneath, like snake line is some scales are there under his body. Mouth like a fireplace, chimney for a nose, and from his mouth fire is to come, and from his nose a smoke. So nose was like a chimney. And Trilio dragons on his toes, a sharp knife, we can say dragon on his toes. In the fourth stanza we can see Belinda was brave as a barrel full of bears. That means without any fear. Barrels means without any fear. And Ink and Blink chased Lion down the stairs. Ink and Blink, they also were very courageous. They chased the lion from the staircase and they chased him away. And Mustard was brave as a tiger in a rage. Rage means anger. With anger, the Mustard chased the tiger away. But Custard cried for a nice safe cage. And Custard was frightened and he had no courage. So always he cries for a safety place and he wants a safe cage. In the 5th stanza, we can see Belinda tickled whom? The dragon. They were laughing at the dragon without any merciful. They did not show any merciful towards the dragon, and 4 of them, Ink, Blink and the Mustard, they rudely called him Percival. What is Percival? It is King Arthur's soldier, one who was with fearful, he ran away. So they kept the name to the dragon and they were laughing at the dragon. They all sat in a red wagon and they were teasing and laughing at a poor dragon who was a Relio Trilio covered dragon. In the 6th stanza, we can see Belinda giggled and shook the house. She was giggling by seeing the covered custard, and Blink also giggled and other mouse, and Ink and Mustard, they rudely asked him what is his age, and the Custard was going on crying and he was asking for a safe cage where he can remain safely. And they were making fun of him and calling him different names and they were asking him at his age. In the 7th stanza, we can see suddenly they heard a nasty noise. What is nasty? Nasty is here a bad noise they heard, bad sound. And Master, with fear, he groaned and he made such a noise that all others were looking where the noise is coming from. Meouch, cried Ink, and Ook, cried Belinda. And there was a parrot climbing in the window. What is window here? Window is a window. Here the poet is changing window into window because it to match with the Belinda, to give a poem a musical rhythm. So he is changing the spelling here, window into window. And who is parrot? Parrot is the robber from the sea, one who robs in the sea. He is a parrot. He is climbing to the Belinda's house in order to steal something. In the 8th stanza, we can see a robber is coming to Belinda's house with a 2 pistol. In the right hand 1 pistol and left hand another pistol. And in his mouth he is carrying a sharp knife, which is used by the sailors. And he had black beard. And one leg was with a wood. He did not have one leg. One leg was made with a wood. And it was very clear he did not come for the good purpose, but he came for the bad purpose in order to steal in Belinda's house. In the 9th stanza, we can see when all of them saw the parrot, they got frightened and they ran away. And Belinda's face was turned into yellow because of the fear. And she cried, "Help, help." And Mustard also started crying, "Help, help." And the kitten Ink ran down towards the bottom of the house as if he had already planned. And the mouse Ink ran into his little mouse hole in order to save himself. In the 10th stanza, we can see the pets who were showing themselves so brave and courageous, they all escaped and they ran away to save themselves. And the Custard, the dragon, he took over and he jumped over the pallet, and he made a loud noise which came from the nose, as if the engine is producing a noise. And after that, he dashed with his tail to the ground, and it made a great noise, as if it is a metal coming from the underground rooms. And the Custard the dragon attacked the pallet as a robin bird attacking a worm. In the 11th stanza, we can see the pallet. When he saw the reaction of the dragon, he got so scared, and he took out from his pocket an alcohol drink, and he drank to get strength. And he took out a pistol and he shot at dragon, but it did not hit him. And the dragon grabbed him and ate him completely, and he killed him. In the 12th stanza, we can see when the pallet was dead, Belinda hugged the dragon and embraced him, and Mustard licked him, and they were so happy. They were not sad that pallet died. They were rejoicing, and they were running around the dragon, and the dragon too was happy. After that, they thanked the dragon, and they were so happy with the dragon's work, and they changed their minds. They were reminded how they used to tickle dragon, how they used to tease him, they used to ask him his age, and they were so sorry because dragon only saved their life. And the dog said, I was just because of some confusion. I couldn't help. And others said, but I am more than 2 times braver than the dragon. And the ink said, no, I am 3 times more courageous than the dragon. And the poor dragon, he remained silent, and he said, okay, both of you are more courageous than me. In the 14th stanza, we can see the author is repeating the same stanza which we saw in the first stanza. Belinda still lived in a white little house. After killing the pilot, Belinda and her friends, they were living in the same house. They were happy and they were staying together. In the last stanza, that is 15th stanza, we can see the poem here. The poem is being repeated. What we saw in the 4th stanza is being written here, being repeated. The poet repeats again the same stanza, that Belinda was a brave. She was a brave, as she was brave, like brave, full of berries. And Ink and Blink chased Lion down from the stairs. They too were so courageous. And Mustard was brave as a tiger. And a little Custard, he always cries for a safe, nice place, a nice cage. In this chapter, in this poem, we saw the story about the Custard the dragon. How the Custard the dragon, he did not show himself so brave, but he proved that he was brave. He was not a coward. I stop my explanation here, and I hope that you too understood this poem. If you have not understood this poem, you can let me know in the comment section. And please don't forget to subscribe the channel.